Good afternoon. Good afternoon, committee members and other parties of interest. We are now at the evaluation phase of after the oral presentations for RFP 25-00332, Oracle Customer Services Consulting Services. This is being held by means of communication media technology. Provisions have been made for any members of the public desiring to have access to view this evaluation meeting. The online internet and live stream will also be available via recording a few days after this evaluation meeting. Please be advised that the cone of silence is still in effect. All meetings and correspondence must include me. My name is Tracy Edwards. I am the senior procurement buyer for the project. For the record, this meeting is being recorded and has been publicly noticed. At this time, I will ask each committee member to introduce themselves for the record, beginning with our committee chair.
Good afternoon. My name is Austin Stoyer, and I'm the current acting group manager for the business analysis and application support team that supports the operation of CCS and everything that it touches.
Good afternoon, I'm Marisol Garcia. I'm the group manager for client services groups. That's the meter to cash. That is the customer contact center, billing, field services, meter reading, and our service availability groups.
Hi, I'm Karen Wers. I'm the service delivery manager who supports public utilities.
Hello, I'm George Gonzalez, Enterprise Solutions Division Director. I'm observing.
So the presentations will be evaluated and scored based on the following criteria. Here. Proposals, organization, qualification, and experience, documented success, size, complexity, and relevance. Proposals, technical approach, methodology to project schedule, qualifications, knowledge, education, training, expertise, and skill. Cost total as well. We are now at the scoring phase of the meeting. All firms have presented, and we will now proceed with the consensus scoring of the oral presentations. At this time, I'll turn the meeting over to the committee chairperson, Austin Stoyer, to lead the discussion evaluation. I will record and confirm the scoring.
To recap from our last committee meeting, as Tracy's provided us with our scores from last committee meeting, we had as far as A1, A2, and A3 being the proposer organization's qualification experience, technical approach, and qualifications. Each of the two shortlisted firms, they both received 20-20-20 for each of those three categories. Based on today's presentations, I think it would be fair to say, and I'll ask if you agree, if categories A1 and A3 being their qualification and experience and their knowledge, education, training, experience, expertise, and skills, I don't think those scores merit any change. I think those are still 20s all for both firms.
Yes, an agreement.
The only thing I would like to consider and potentially discuss is category A2, the technical approach, which is what we really got into detail of in the presentations today. So with that in mind, would either of you like to give any preliminary comment as to what we heard today?
I don't have a problem starting. Okay, so based on the two presentations that we heard from BHC side, we got to hear a lot more of what they're gonna do. Their actions, what actions they're gonna take, what resolution they're gonna be providing to us, how they're gonna be more proactive in leading whatever issues may be taking place or whatever ideas that they have to make our processes and our system function much better and for our efficiency in providing service to our customers. So we got to hear a lot about their actions, what they're gonna do, what they're gonna provide, right? So we didn't have to ask What are you gonna do? How is that gonna come over to us? What are we expecting from you, right? On the TMG side, what we heard is, and I kind of hone more on, they provided some details, but it's like, if you need us to do this, then we'll do it. Well, yes, we have that, but if you need it, then yeah, we can give it to you. My perspective is, I heard more of, yeah, we can do that, but they didn't give us actions that they'll take, like being more proactive, although they said they will be more proactive. I didn't see very much of the specifics unless we're the ones asking them and approaching them for their response.
I think that matches with, because TMG is our current contracted vendor, that matches with our current experience. Sorry, I think that that feedback from TMG also matches with our current experience with them as our current contracted vendor. In that, currently, their approach has been more reactive, and I hear them saying that they're going to take a more proactive approach, which I certainly appreciate, but it is also nice to hear straight out of the gate from BHC. Here's what we're gonna do, here's how we're gonna be proactive, and here's how we're gonna deliver. I definitely appreciated that coming from BHC.
Agreed. I felt, between the two presentations, the approach that BHC cited seemed to be more of a proactive. You guys are, in your fifth year with the system, you're beyond just the basic implementation and the break fix and being reactive to tickets, and are now in a phase of looking, right, how can you improve, and, looking to someone to provide that detail for you. And, obviously, if you knew all those answers, you wouldn't be having this proposal in the first place, right? And we're getting that information. You wouldn't be looking to, have someone assist with that process.
So with all of that in mind, I would like to propose that we potentially lower the technical approach score that we previously gave to TMG. Would that be agreeable to both of you?
I'm in agreement.
I agree.
How much would you think is fair? 2 points, 3 points, 5 points? I'd be open to suggestion. So when I'm looking at the two firms, some things that I heard from BHC at least was their proactive approach to reviewing the batch monitoring, actively looking at statistics and providing a dashboard view to see what is trending. Sort of how did that data point look yesterday, last week, last month, last year? That's something that I didn't necessarily hear from TMG, and I think that would definitely be a value add to our organization. So for that point specifically, I would suggest maybe 2 points. Because batch monitoring is, I would definitely say, is at least 10% of our business, if not more.
And to add to them, the other part that BHC actually mentioned is, they had mentioned that they would be working within our hours of operation, but then some, right? So if while we're not working on our regular business hours, they have folks that are monitoring it. So by the time that we get back into the office or where our shift starts, they would already have details for us to say, hey, this is what took place while your office was not working, or you were off, but we've already resolved it. This is the proactive approach that we're gonna take. So they didn't wait, they would not wait for us to be the ones to say, hey, we got a problem, what are you gonna do about it? So it is part of that proactive approach in the examples that they mentioned.
Now, in fairness, TMG, that is a service they currently provide to us. And that was something they did speak to, was their offshore batch monitoring. They do monitor for, significant breakages. They have historically made those fixes and corrections in the off hours and then alerted us to it in the morning. But I heard from BHC that I did not hear from TMG was looking at the actual batch completion statistics, hearing about things like exceptions and to do counts, specific tasks that would trend where TMG does currently provide to us, those analytics at a historical level of, here's what it is. What I heard from BHC was, again, that monitoring of a trend of here's how it was a week, a month, a year ago. And I think that's a lot of value add of having that insight.
Agreed.
So with that being said, I suppose I'm suggesting a TMG score of their technical approach to an 18. Would that be? Would that be fair? Is there?
I was picking 15, I
15?
go on 5, so.
Okay.
Yeah,
So 15 would be 25% of the technical approach be missing. And with it primarily around the bench reporting statistics and the progressive nature, or excuse me, the proactive nature of monitoring our business processes. I would definitely say there's 25% of our business value in those processes.
Right,
Yeah.
and I think I would just also add for on the Karen side, I felt I really liked how they presented their ticket intake process and the stages and explaining each of those and how they collaborate with each other to come up with a solution as quickly as possible.
So
I did like hearing that about the ticketing solution. Because I didn't hear that mentioned at all from the TMG side and how that approach is taken when there's issues and how would that be tracked?
especially given that BHC named our current ticketing software that we use
Yeah.
of Azure DevOps, I think it would be a seamless step in. Okay, so hearing 15 as the proposed A2 rating for TMG, I would second that. Is 15, are we in agreement on 15?
I'm for it.
Yes. So we would like to update the consensus score of TMG's technical approach to a 15.
And blue herring still okay.
And Blue Heron remains at 20, correct?
Yes.
Something I also wanted to point out, and I'm not sure if this is maybe the right form or not, but in Blue Heron's proposal, they proposed a fixed monthly rate that they called their managed services package, but they also included like an hourly rate card. Based on our current need of a consulting vendor, I don't expect to have the hours, the utilization of hours that would justify the fixed monthly rate. I'm wondering if BHC would be agreeable to a hourly rate card as opposed to their fixed monthly rate. Sure, that's something that could be answered today.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But with that in mind, I know that would change a quote cost total as well. I'm not certain if that could take place.
So not to use the rate.
Not to use the fixed monthly
No.
rate, but rather they did propose in their proposal for an hourly rate card, an optional hourly rate card. I was wondering if we could select that option, if that is a possibility. Because if so, that would be a potential large savings for the county.
That's what they're talking about.
Okay.
So you're asking procurement to look into that.
If you would mind, yes, please. So other than that, I believe we're still all in consensus for Blue Heron 2020 on organization qualification and experience, technical approach, and qualifications through knowledge, education, training, and expertise. And I believe we're all in consensus on an updated score for TMG of a 2015-20 for the organization qualification, technical approach, and knowledge, education, training, expertise, respectively.
Okay, all righty.
Is there anything more to discuss? I don't believe so.
Nope, all righty. So right now I have for Blue Herring Consultant, still at the for the cost, the quote cost total, we have it 15.21. And that's something you want us to go back with. For the proposal, organization, qualification, experience, documented success, size, complexity, and prevalence. 20, proposals, technical approach, methodology, project schedule. 20, and qualifications, knowledge, education, training, expertise, and skill at 20, with the total score, no points for SBE, total score at 75.21, that's 75.21. TMG, cost quote, quote cost total at the 18.92, SBE points 0, the A1, the proposal, organization, qualification, and experience at 20, proposals, technical approach, methodology, project schedule. 15, qualification, knowledge, education, training, expertise, and skill. 20, for a total of 73.92. And is that correct? Same thing?
Yes.
That's great. All righty. So that concludes the evaluation committee meeting after the oral presentations for RFP-25-00332, Oracle Customer Services Consulting Services. Again, the cone of silence is still in effect. All correspondence must go through me. And thank you for all attending.